Ooh, Game of Thrones fan, I see.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Misty Mountain
Hi!
Streaming. I'm TheDNDWannabe. My name is Rob. Check out these cool people. Yes, that was the Game of Thrones thing. No, it was not me making the sound.
You'll never know who it was.
My recording is working this time, which it has not been the last several times. I don't know why, but we're just going to enjoy that, cross our fingers, and not talk about it anymore so that it continues doing the thing it's supposed to be doing. Hello.
You're making it self-conscious, Rob.
That's... now it matches me. Thank you, Leo Yeager, for resubscribing for your 9th straight month. Appreciate you, my friend. We need to play some League together again soon. And thank you to Raffo, for the follow. Appreciate you being here. Welcome to our weird little corner of the internet. We are Misty Mountain Streaming. We like to tell and experience great stories, and our favorite way to do that is through tabletop role-playing games like Dungeons and Dragons, which is what we're going to be doing tonight.
I'll take a shot. I think it's Rafu, like LeFou, but with an
Rafu?
R.
Like LeFou. Okay, fair enough.
Oh, I'm afraid I've been thinking.
Let's go ahead with that note and introduce ourselves, and we'll start with Mr. Consweet Media.
That's me.
Ooh.
Yes, hello. My name is Levi. I do a thing. I interview people on the internet and stuff. Got a couple interviews done. They're good. I did some hiking today. Did a cool place called Oak Mountain State Park. If you're in the Alabama area, check it out. I like animals and long hikes. I do archery in real life. I kind of walk the path of the ranger kind of thing, but it's less cringy than that. It's a good time. I have fun playing D&D with these hooligans here. Katya shows up with bail money. Still got to pay back for that there. And I'm going to go for Husbando. I'm changing your name. You're now Husbando Sampai from now on. So ready? Go!
Oh. Well, as you said, as Husbando Senpai or Husbando Senpai, I am here to just roll some dice, have some fun, and get into some shenanigans, and hopefully not piss Rob off too much. We'll see. And then, Katya.
Oh, sorry, you mean we don't need to piss Rob off tonight. Okay, I will need to make some notes. Anyway, hi, my name is Katya Saturday. I'm an actress, a writer, and, surprise, surprise, a D&D player, just like all of those amazing people that we're about to do a very awesome adventure with, which I'm actually very excited about because I have no idea what the hell we're like, how all of this is gonna go, as per any D&D session, really. You can also find me on the amazing channel on YouTube called D20 Tales. Our season 2 of Plane Striders is going to be airing shortly, and I'm very excited about all of the jinx. If you love Treasure Planet / Robin Hood / all of the sci-fi stuff, join us on the adventure.
Link to D20 Tales in the chat.
Ooh, thank you.
I must say, Sam has been playing this entire campaign for 15, 16 sessions now. A monk caught between the war of light and dark, and I think he has only worn white, gray, and black on the channel, and I think that's very, very immersive. Well done.
He wore blue.
Oh, yeah.
Did he wear blue once?
Once. And I almost died, so that's why I didn't wear it. I only wear
And that's why you're back to black.
back to black.
No more primary colors.
Let me say hello, by the way, to Grimforge. Hello, Peyton, in the chat. It's been nice role-playing with you. We have a project we're not exactly ready to talk about yet that Peyton has been very involved in. And that was fun. Kept me up late last night. And Evelyn May Cosplay, who is potentially also maybe getting involved on that. I'm waiting for a Discord message from you. Very excited to see if you want to help us out with that stuff. Other than that, you might notice that larger than any of our faces on this here screen is a logo for GaryCon XV, or 15, if you're, used to Roman numerals. That is not this weekend, but the next weekend, coming up towards the end of March. The dates will be the 23rd through the 26th of this month, and we, Misty Mountain Streaming, are participating in the March to GaryCon. You see it's a pun there, the March month of... Anyway. Search social media for the hashtags Virtual GaryCon and GaryCon XV for more information about the show. You can play and participate in the convention from the comfort of your own home by purchasing virtual tickets to participate in virtual games. Also, check out the GaryCon Twitch channel for Gax Pack as in Gax Pack, with DM Jason Charles Miller, who is an incredible human being I had the pleasure of meeting back at Origins Game Fair last year, and who I hope to get a beer with this coming weekend when I actually get to go up to Gary Con and play the Alien RPG next Friday night at 10 Central. That game should be streamed, so if you want to see me in the player's seat for a change, check out their channel then. Check out play.garycon.com to register for a virtual badge, get some virtual swag, and to just generally stay plugged into everything that's going on there. And if Jim Duffy watches this later, hello! Looking forward to seeing and meeting you and having a beer together next week. Announcements-wise from any of you guys before we get started?
You know what? Not yet.
Not yet.
Not
Ooh,
yet.
not yet.
Well,
Announcement-wise for the channel, we'll say this at the end again. The next stream will be tomorrow night for Divinity: The Original Sin 2, Two Nerds Play. Eric and I taking on one of my favorite video games of all time, and hopefully doing a little better than we did last week. Then after that will be The Edge of Knowledge, this coming Tuesday at 7 Central, where we're going to continue on the Mythic Odysseys of Theros campaign. But we will not be returning for the following 2 weeks, because I, the Dungeon Master, will be gone to Gary Con, and then subsequently to C2E2. So I will not be at around my computer for either of those weeks, and therefore cannot stream. Sam will be joining me at C2E2, so if you are going to that show, come see us, hang out with us. If you mention that you know me from here, I'll buy you a beer, hopefully a free one, because then it's cost-effective and enjoyable for us all.
Does that work for me too, Ryan?
Actually,
Yes, Sam, God, okay. Twist my arm.
What about you?
Sure, if you want to come up there, yeah.
I'd say I'll also be at PAX East.
I want to get there now.
Oh, you're going to get to go to PAX?
Yeah, so...
But, actually, I just realized that I kind of teased it last week, but I did not have a chance to fully announce it yet, because I wasn't sure if it was announced or not, so I'm like, But now it is finally announced. If you guys are going to be in Virginia on the weekend of 25th and 26th, I am actually going to be at GalaxyCon with the team of D20 Tales performing Planestriders live with everyone. And I am so excited and kind of scared because it's going to be our second time performing live and it was so epic last time. And I'm like, we're going to be in GalaxyCon for all 4 shows in Virginia, and then we're going to go to North Carolina and then to Texas. And it's just like, I'm so happy and I would love to see you guys there.
I'm thrilled for you. I think that's if you have the mind for that kind of thing, if you have the personality for that kind of thing, that's the dream, right? Playing D&D live on stage for a crowd. You know,
it really is. And
that's the Acquisitions Incorporated thing. That's the Critical Role thing, right?
it really is the dream. And hey, I have someone very specific to thank for it. Misty Mountain Gaming. Thanks for this opportunity, you know. Really, thank you so much. And the entire team cannot thank you enough for trusting in us and working with us throughout this entire time. Our partnership has been truly amazing throughout all of it, and we can't wait to see what happens next.
Wait, people were trusting us?
Oh, well,
that's why we're not.
Hey, they still do.
Just,
like, you know, keep it on the down
That's
low.
why the three up here are not performing live. We are not trusted.
I wouldn't trust me. Are you kidding?
That got Katya.
Just be choking on my tea right here. Do continue.
Are you drinking tea too?
Last thing. Maple Prism, what's going on, friend? Maple Prism also potentially participating in the secret project. How's it going? 4 months. Appreciate the resub with Prime, the smart way that costs you nothing and means the world to us.
Oh, look at that ad voice. Also, secret project, is that the secret project?
You know of the secret project, yes.
You guys, strap in for this one. This is gonna be tasty. This is gonna be so fucking good.
We've been working on it for months. So, one last announcement, sad announcement. This campaign has an expiration date. Given that we are going to be taking 2 weeks off, we have 4 sessions of the Wards of Waterdeep left. So we are on a little bit of a time crunch that we didn't know that we were going to be on to wrap this game up. But the vagaries of life have meant that we are losing more than just Rose in this little adventure. So we're going to try and put a nice bow on things before the 20th of April should be the last session. So we're going to try and milk this ride for all the fun it's worth. So, without any further ado, are you guys ready to play?
Let's go.
Yeah.
Bring it on.
Got your dice, I got mine. They still make that wonderful sound.
I'm ready.
Great. I need to speak in order for the
You've got
mic
a
to pick it up, but there it is.
board of dice, Sam.
Gotta have my selection, you know?
It's like
Just the,
slice of pepper jack, some brie, maybe some dice.
I only roll
a
the same
D20.
dice over and over again, but, you know,
Dan.
so I have options.
All
Sam at
right.
the dice Yu-Gi-Oh is the heart of the cards. He's got to feel the right one. Go, which one's going to give me a 24? Wow!
These recaps are going to get along
Which
as we're
one's going
going
to give me a 24?
These recaps are going to get along as we start to broach more and more topics that we're trying to squeeze into a few weeks, so I will do this as quickly as ever I can. So, our party, Zentris, Emannuel, and Nia, have gone south from Phandalin and the Spellforge to the marvelous metropolis of Waterdeep. Here, Zentris and Emannuel arrived a little bit earlier than Nia, wound up being flim-flammed by some charlatans near the gate to the field ward, and wound up not only incarcerated, but penniless. Nia came down, made her way through the next day, and made a couple of friends along the way, not the least of whom, was the son of the former Open Lord of Waterdeep, Raynar Neverember, who said his dad embezzled a whole bunch of money. Say what, Nia?
No, I was going to say, gotta make your connections.
Yes, yes. Speaking of making connections, she did not make the connection when she met the giant Minotaur man who was looking for his son named Manny. That might be Emannuel, the perfectly normal human that she's been adventuring with for the past 13 episodes.
I walked myself into that one. Fair. Respect the game, sir.
That was the greatest reveal I've ever been a part of.
I was
You magnified it so much.
I was so sure she was just that good an actress and was playing it up, but no.
Cute.
No, it was just obscure enough. To be fair, we barely hinted at it through the rest of the stuff, so I no one could have seen that coming. Until Manny was mentioned, then maybe. Anyway, Ferdinand Longhorn, gladiator of great renown and hero to the city, invited you all back to his house to hang out, chill, wash the prison off of you. You managed to meet Emmanuel's merfolk mother and his cow centaur brother and his relationship problems. And generally speaking, had yourselves a nice evening for a change. However, you have had it on your minds to perhaps take some vengeance for your stolen coin. Different things on your mind have been an invitation from Davil Starsong, ally to Halia Thornton, an invitation to the Yawning Portal. The amulet that was attempted to be snuck into Emmanuel's pocket before coming into the city. Obviously, the revenge against the two who flummoxed you and stole all your money. Erstal Floxen, Zentarum agent's invitation to ask around if you would like any assistance tracking down those ne'er-do-wells. As well as your father's promise to speak to some old friends, see what can be done to help. And Raynar Neverember's invitation to drop a line at the Yawning Portal once you know where you're going to be, in case he can show up. Can you tell we plan for more than 4 sessions from now?
I'm sorry.
No, it's all good. But those are all of the loose threads presented to you. And where we left off, Zentris was hoping to sneak away from the Longhorn estate in the middle of the night.
Yes.
Zentris, you guys are all kind of sleeping in the same suite. If you are hoping to get out of here unnoticed, you will need to make a stealth check.
Fucking.
Not just against your allies.
You better fail this.
But against everyone else milling about the complex right now. So everyone, every player except Sam, make a perception check, and I'm going to make a few for the house staff. That feels beatable.
Uh,
I feel like that's a bad number.
that's that ain't fuck.
You saw me leave.
Apparently, I did not.
How did you do, Zentris?
Oh, my bad. I'm doing research. I got a
Stealth check.
Stealth check with +6, so that is 23.
23. Yeah.
Jesus
Anybody beat a
Christ.
23?
Yes, actually.
Nice. All right.
Hey.
Good for you.
Emmanuel, you are aware that Zentris is gathering his things and making for the heavily curtained window to the balcony and to the estate beyond.
Mm-hmm. I immediately stand to my feet and I just look at him, just like,
Just nod off and just jump off.
You have unlocked slow fall at this point, haven't you?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
I love
This
the
is not
jump.
a
Like
short
you
house.
should do that, right? Like,
I just like why am I drawing a blank? Assassin's Creed's it just and then
oh fuck yeah.
Emmanuel, you fine with him gallivanting?
I mean, it's tough to. I feel like you do better with help, for a lookout. So at this point, I'm going to rouse Nia and just be like, "Hey, he's running for it," and I'm going to go out the window.
Okay. You do not have slow fall.
Oh no, I'm going to try to climb out. I'm not jumping out like
Okay.
him. I'm
Okay.
gonna try to-
Also, to reiterate, you basically woke up Nia and decided to just go out the window. So she's like, dude, what are
That's
you
all the
doing?
time I have.
but yeah, rewind. So remember, we had this conversation that I was gonna go look for herbs and stuff to go make potions. So you know where I'm going. So
No, I didn't see. I got a nat 1. I didn't see you leave.
oh, that's fair. That's fair.
That's
Yeah,
why
but
I'm
I
like,
won't
I just see Emmanuel just like climbing his way out of it. I'm like, dude, what are you
Reverse
doing?
Romeo and Julieting himself. There.
To be or not to yeet.
You're right.
Clip that.
It's gonna so hard to stop laughing. What are you doing?
I said, he's on the run. Do you know where he's going? As I'm starting to rappel down on the way out the window.
Oh, okay, fine. And Nia straps the wings version 337 on, and she flies down.
All right. Zentris, you have people following you. You're running across kind of open ground. There's not a lot of places to hide anymore. Nia and Emmanuel, you see him making his way. He moves fast. Faster than y'all do. Of course, he's not flying
Damn
like
it,
Nia
fast
is.
monks.
But now that you realize they're coming along, are you trying to outrun them?
Don't you dare. Don't.
So he's a little embarrassed of where he might have to go.
Oh, we're going.
So
Talk about Romeo and Juliet. You say a little embarrassed?
he will slow down and let them catch up.
Okay.
Aw.
You all managed to make it through the Longhorn family's horde of servants to the southern wall and to the garden gate that you guys have no trouble getting in or out of. Good thing too, since the scaling the walls is a very difficult thing, as Antonio could tell you. But once outside the complex, you have a moment to talk about your destination.
So everyone, I don't know. How do you guys want to continue? What's important for you guys? Because we need to figure out what path we need to take. That's kind of what I was doing. I was going to try to go figure out what I needed to do for my path.
You're.
Assuming we're talking in game, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
so sorry. Sorry. I'm being this is as respectful as I can asking this. You mean like literally a path, or like spiritually? Just to make sure I'm on the same page.
Both.
Great. Okay,
Path
I
is
can
a
help you with one.
metaphor, but also a path.
I am an Aasimar, so my path is my path, which is my life.
Okay, this is why I love artificers. We don't talk. We're straightforward. Okay, so where are you going again?
So I was kind of torn between either going back to the monastery and asking for information, or if to go pop in at Floxen and see what information he has.
Just from my side, I actually always wanted to see the inside of a monastery because, like, I never really. I mean, besides home, religion was not like a thing for me, so seeing it would be cool.
I
But
mean,
that's
if
just
you guys want to go to my home next, I mean, I don't
I
have
think it's
family
only
like
fair.
I don't have family like you do, Emmanuel, so it'll be a lot different of an experience.
Really, you think you can outweird me? I believe I've set the bar really high.
you definitely have.
Well, we'll see where this goes.
Right, I just want to say, last time there were two of us and we ended up in jail. I hate to see what happened if you go off on your own.
That is a good point, but I also would love to see what happens when it's three of us, because you two just ended up in jail and the town was still standing, so. Yay! I hope that was not a prophecy. I am sorry.
I'm gonna just like turn around, then we'll just turn around and just start walking towards the monastery. Just like, all right, let's
Mm.
go see Dad.
Oh. Strap in, people. Like, this is.
Lore! Time for
So-
lore!
As like we will be walking, I'll explain a little bit more of like my backstory of like I was left there as a child.
Can I ask you to do it in character, if that's okay?
Okay.
I would love to hear it from, like, Zentris.
Because we haven't asked.
I was
Fair.
born at a very young age, and neither my father nor my mother bothered to show up at my birth.
Which is really weird when you think about it.
Thank you for appreciating the reference.
I love that guy.
So as a child, I was left at the doorstep of the monastery. And I grew up not knowing who I was or what I was meant to do. As an Aasimar, I know I'm meant for a great purpose of some kind, but I never figured out where I even came from. And there was a lot of inner struggling within the monastery of who I was. And because of that, there's some tension.
Tension between whom?
Everyone and myself.
I never really understood this whole purpose thing. Like, you're not a machine to, like, be created for one purpose, And even machine doesn't have to be created for a single purpose.
Emmanuel raises his hand and kind of looks at me. He's like, actually, he kind of is.
What do you mean?
Aasimar, they don't come into existence by accident, which you could argue is a lot of different beings, but we don't know why they were put here, but each one of them does actually have a purpose. So that is kind of the driving question for their entire species. So just thought I'd let you know before you keep using that shovel.
And to give you both a bit more depth, the confusion behind a lot of that was, if you haven't noticed, I can alternate between light and dark energy. And I don't know where that stems from.
Well, I did also want to point out, I didn't say that to make you feel weird. Everyone wants to know why we exist. It's a great eternal question. With you, it's a bit more poignant, but it's a fair question. You have every right to seek out the answer. You know what? I say let's find it.
Well, let's
Like
go
that.
see. Let's go see if Master has any more information than he led me to believe before. So,
Right. As we walk along, go. It's a Wizard of Oz.
And Nia just keeps like thinking every once in a while she's about to say something and is like, no, not yet.
Leaving the Longhorn Estate, you make your way south back to the giant arena, east until you hit the high road, and then turn north once again, following it all the way up to Lamp and Andamar Street. Making your way in between a few buildings into the courtyard between them all, you find Waterdeep's Monastery of the Sun. It is an old temple in the middle of an old part of town, but new by comparison to the monastery itself. A large temple with a belfry that rings out the hours. Large sandstone training grounds. A nice view of the rest of the North Ward and the Trades Ward to the south. You can even see most of the City of the Dead from here, currently illuminated during the night by all of the spectral drift globes, little motes of light flickering and moving amongst the trees and the headstones in the distance. The monastery is quiet, but as you approach the gates over the walls, you can see little motes of candlelight drifting from window to window. The monastery is never fully asleep. The high walls enclose a large oaken gate that you remember well, Zentris.
mm-hmm. Well, everyone, let's see what we get. And I will walk up to the door and begin opening it.
I motion like, after you.
The doors are heavy, but open to all. You find yourself in the courtyard. The moving and creaking and groaning of this heavy door on its hinges alerts a few of the monks within, who stride your way in their customary habits with the bright gold cords at their waist to represent Lathander, the Lord of the Sun. And when they bring their lights close enough to see your face, you see the light of recognition behind their eyes as they bow and say, "Brother Zentris, we had not expected you to return so soon, to return so soon."
Brother, I wish to speak with Master about some information that we came across on my adventures. And so we need to see what we can find out.
Yes, of course. Abbot Kichavo is resting at the moment, but he may be roused. Would you like to wait in the chapel or here?
Yes, please. If you would like to ask him to meet us in the chapel.
Very well. Right this way. And they will part, the two monks, one of them leading you to the chapel, even though you honestly need no direction, Zentris. The other one splitting away to go find Abbot Kichavo. Soon, you guys are brought into a large sanctuary. It has no pews, no places to sit. Rather, there are mats laid out along the ground. There's a large stained glass window at the far end, depicting a radiant sun over a green landscape with a path leading up to it. The sun rising from the landscape to meet the path as it is dawning, not high in the sky. There are no lights in this room, no lamps, no candles, no braziers, nothing of the sort, because even though it is dark outside, light is beaming through this stained glass window as though it were broad daylight just on the other side of the pane. This is where you are to await Abbot Hanor Kichavo.
Well, this is giving back memories. But
Say, good
So
ones.
I will warn you, he is very intense.
In how intense? There's different types of intense.
She's right.
Imagine the Lord of a Sun monk and how intense the sun is. Think of how radiantly bright and impactful, but overpowering and encompassing his energy is. So I don't think he'll throw his power around, but just make sure you know we're not the strongest in the room.
I believe
Hey,
it.
don't look at me. I wasn't gonna start fights. Like,
No.
I usually finish them anyway.
I'm sorry,
But
who are you and what have you done with Nia?
watch it. Hey. I got 3 more levels till I get Fireball. Watch it.
If he says anything, don't react.
I will try. Depends on what he's gonna say. But also, I've been thinking about what you were saying earlier about the whole purpose thing, and I don't know if it's gonna help, but like, I just want to say it, if that's okay.
Yeah. What's up?
So, look, and Nia takes out the little screwdriver that we found way back in the Wave Echo Cave.
Right.
This is a rather simple thing. A tool that is used for many purposes, and many purposes by me. Every single one of my inventions, in one way or another, has been now improved or created by it. But at the same time, it does not serve just one purpose. And it's really up to the person that holds it what purpose it's going to serve. And I'm not saying you're a tool. I'm saying you are you. And I think it's kind of dumb that you need to, guess your purpose. Because if you have so many ways of using the powers that you've got, especially 2 of the opposites that are like, you're a badass when you do this. You're just a badass in general, but my point is that, like, your purpose is up to you, and I think it should really stay that way. And maybe it's a good thing that you don't know it. But that's just me.
Hopefully my path has given me the opportunity to choose, because it may not have.
I raised my hand to kind of point at Nia, and I said, I'd like to add to what she said. All of it. It's all true. Whatever it is, tool, it's got a purpose. That power's your hands, regardless of whatever they meant. Whoever they is, I don't know. You're in control of that.
We hope so. And then...
Hey, if anything, we'll just kick their ass.
As you say
I
that, the doors
Oh,
to the
no!
chapel swing open, and 2 men enter the room. One of them is clad in the same attire as the monks that brought you here. However, there is a golden sun-shaped amulet with a ruby center dangling about his neck. He has a presence that makes him feel much taller than his actual size. Actually, Emmanuel, he's probably a head shorter than you, but he just has an aura of command about him. Not intense, not intimidating, but you very much doubt that in recent years this man has walked into a room and not had authority over it. Beside him is a smaller man. Small by any metric. Very narrow, very old. Shaven head, black habit with a gray tunic beneath. And you know how sometimes old folks just kind of that chin kind of disappears towards their lower lip? He's got a little of that going on. And just a broad, content smile on his wrinkly face. Zentris, you know the first as Abbot Kichavo. This is the man who was responsible for your upbringing and in charge of the monastery here. The other is Hlam. Hlam is not a practitioner of the Way of the Sun, not a follower of Lathander. Rather, he is a master in the Way of the Open Hand, a different monastic tradition, and friend and longtime ally of Anarchichavo. He was the one that initially suggested that perhaps your destiny lied elsewhere. Kichavo, however, is the first to speak after your greeting. Abbot Kichavo does not bow. Hlam does. It has been many weeks since I last saw you, my son. How have you fared on your travels?
Much better than I anticipated, but ran into more problems than I thought.
And were the problems solved?
The majority of them, yes. There's some that I wanted to speak with you about because I interacted with someone who is trained very well in the Way of the Shadow.
To say that his face darkens is kind of an expression of someone becoming more stern or whatnot. Nevertheless, as Kichavo's expression takes on this demeanor, it actually seems to radiate light. And says, "The Way of the Shadow."
Yes, we recently ended up having to deal with the Doom Raiders, if you know who they are.
I do not.
They were certainly after a sword of immense power that even I myself was drawn to both sides.
Power, my child, does not come from the weapons we wield. This I tried to instill in you in your youth. It comes from within and our connection to divinity, to the Morning Lord, Lathander.
These are different, Father. These control light itself.
Light is the domain of the Morning Lord, my child. If it is capable of being diffused, suffused, or extinguished, it is because your faith was not strong enough. A problem we have had in the past, you'll recall.
With all due respect, with my adventures, my view has broadened. The Thander's not the only one. You know this, Father.
There are other gods, yes. There are other powers. There is evil in the world. You know this well.
So how is it all up to faith?
Because, child, your faith in the might of Lathander can be stronger than your enemy's ill will, than your enemy's hate, than their faith in their small gods. All the while you, Zentris, and Kichavo are having this situation, Hlam is standing slightly behind him, slightly in the shadow of one of the pillars, just licking dry lips with a somewhat bloated tongue, just somewhat bemused by the conversation.
I'm sorry. Nia kind of suddenly sees him and just gets a little startled, like kind of just waves.
No.
Couldn't hear you.
Standing in
Hello.
the shadow? Hi. Standing in the shadow there? You comfortable?
Yes, it's quite cool over here. Do you want to come?
I'm good,
Just
thank you
very-
though.
Just very bright from that window.
Sorry, bright? Aren't you guys like worshipping the sun? Isn't that like your whole thing?
Oh, no. That's them. I'm a very different sort of monk.
Cool.
I look at
Good to
Nia and
know.
I go,
I didn't come here to argue about faith.
Why did you come here?
For something more than what we had. You state that you always had more knowledge about light and dark, and that's the reason why I should have stayed in the monastery. And now I have the option, I have the opportunity to study the dark, and you shun it like it doesn't even exist. Like, that just proves to me more that you are closed-minded than you are even willing to offer us help.
It is not that I have knowledge that you lack, child. It's that I have wisdom that you do not seek. I have given you all the information I have given any of our acolytes here, and yet upon you they seem to fall on deaf ears. You have interest in the dark. You do not have faith in the light. Murder exists in the world, but I do not engage with it. Theft exists in the world, and I do not engage with it. I'm not fascinated by it. I do not pursue it.
But just as you sit on the monastery walls and watch the lights of the city of the dead float, not all darkness is dark.
And yet, the type that you seek is, and always has been.
You've never proven that.
You have.
That is definitely one of the most. Sorry, my dog is stealing the show.
I was wondering what that
That's
was.
the sound you're hearing. Like, this is one of the most, if not the legendary hero that helped us save an entire goddamn town. I have full respect for you and your beliefs, but you better watch it. He has no interest in harming anyone. Not even a goddamn fly for 1 second, by the way.
Has he
True.
not? And everyone that you have encountered on your time with this son of mine, everyone was better off after meeting him? No problems persisted after his arrival or his disappearance?
I'm sorry, are you expecting him to, like, not make any choices because there will be no consequences then?
I expect him to make the right choices. Something he has struggled with longer than you have known him. How
And what
long
is-
have you known him?
Long enough to know that he would never make the wrong choice knowingly. And he would not make the wrong choice by causing someone pain purposefully. No matter what you say.
I have known him since he was a child. Your inexperience is showing, my dear. Whatever he has told you, whatever he has done with you, whatever he has said to you, use discernment. He is more than he appears to be.
Yeah.
I will come up to Nia and I'll be like, hey, this was just, I told you it was a waste of time. Let's go.
Yes, but also you didn't tell me that how much of a colossal dick he can be.
Oh, hold on. I kind of like looked at Nia and I'm just like, I'm not saying you're wrong, but this is not our house.
Fair. Because if it was my house, I would not be speaking to someone who came back. Especially someone you clearly have been expecting.
I'll be quite
Nia's just
through.
still staring right at the master.
Come on, everyone. No use to talking to brick walls. They'll never move for you.
I know some ways to make a brick wall move.
I'll show them to the door. Shall I, Hanor? I'll show them to the door. And Halam, the dark-robed one standing in the shadow, makes a obeisant bow and gestures towards the door.
We'll walk towards the door begrudgingly.
As I'm about to exit the door, I look back and I say, I don't know a lot of things, but I can tell you one thing with certainty. My life is much more blessed calling Zentris a friend. And I walk out the door.
As you close the door, you hear, "We will pray for your safety, child."
I make like what I think would be a cross in this kind of universe, just like, right on.
The chat is enjoying this role play and your speech, Nia.
Aw.
Thank
you.
As you go, Halam, you have quite a walk back to the gate from the chapel. Halam is walking with his hands folded behind his back and slightly hunched. And says to you, Zentris, "No. Kijabo is really not like this with the others. You unsettle him. You always have. You know this."
I know. And I just was hoping that maybe coming back with open hands and questions was the opportunity that he wanted to give to follow a path. And instead, he just rejected me again.
Chavo has one path in mind for you, Zentris. He thinks it is the only path that will keep you safe, and you walked away from it. In all fairness, I encouraged you to walk away from it because I don't think it's the right path for you at all, but nevertheless, Chavo feels betrayed. And for all of his station, he is still human.
But he knows this amulet was not it's not Lathander. He knows. I need to figure out what it is. I need to stop keeping my worldview so narrow.
Well, I'd sort of hoped you would figure this out on your own. Did you get a chance to visit Way of the Shadow Monastery, north of Waterdeep, or north of Neverwinter, pardon me?
No, I didn't.
Well, can't be helped. I'm a firm believer that sometimes the best lessons are shown, not told, but sometimes we have no other choice. That amulet is so confusing to Hanor because it is incomplete. There's more to it than that. It's a piece of a puzzle. That motif, the image that it should befit, is an ancient holy symbol of Shah. You know about Shah, don't you?
I don't.
Well, you grew up in a monastery to Lathander. Of course, you probably don't know much about Shar. Emannuel and Nia, would you like to make religion checks to see if you know about Shar?
Was just about to ask. Let's see if this one will roll better.
By the way, I want to let you guys know that roll I beat Zentris on earlier was a 20.
Nice. I'll roll a nat 1 and a nat 20.
Remember, you have inspiration and guidance afforded to you by the chat.
I have 15 even.
15.
13.
13. Both of you know of Shar. With 13, you know that Shar is a goddess of darkness, pretty sure, and that is, having heard the name and knowing that much is about what a 13 gets you. Not a supremely worshipped goddess by, decent folk.
Understood.
For the record, mine's 15.
Yes, I know. I'm
Okay.
I'm ascending. With a 15, you know a little bit more that Shar is the sister of the goddess of the moon. Somewhat more malevolent. Yes, exactly. Well done. Somewhat more malevolent, somewhat more secretive. Not just a god of darkness itself as an entity, but things that take place in the dark, secrets, loss, pain, the ability to forget, ephemeral things such as that. There's probably more to know, but that's what you know off of a 15.
Fair enough.
Shit. I mean,
If I know if there's a temple in the city, I feel like this is something I could be aware of.
Yeah, and you grew up with a high level of education because of your class. Shar does not have a temple in the city. Shar is not a terribly like evil god, but not a goddess with a lot of positive PR.
Sorry, I'm trying to find something.
You're good.
So to clarify, 13 would also tell me that like they're like knowing Neverwinter as well as I like as Nia would. Would she know that there's also like a temple there?
So you would know, and Halam will help connect these dots if you bring it up, that there was a Way of the Shadow monastery to the northeast of Neverwinter.
Okay.
It was claimed by the Cataclysm, along with your shop and several other things. And so it makes sense why Zentris would have been unable to visit it, because it doesn't exist anymore.
Yep.
What happened to the monks from there, not necessarily sure. And it wasn't necessarily dedicated to Shar, but if they had to pick somebody, that'd probably be it.
Got it. So, sorry, did you say Shar?
Speak up. Sorry, what?
Oh, yeah, Shar, like the darkness lady goddess thingy.
Yes, that's the one.
You do know about what happened with Neverwinter, right?
What happened with Neverwinter?
I just don't want to be the bearer of the bad news, but like, you know how like the entire northeastern corner of the city was kind of
volcano. Terrible.
Yeah.
I'm very sorry about that. It's quite the tragedy. Oh, so that's why you didn't get to go. That makes sense. Well, good thing old Halam's here to help out then.
Do you know where we can go?
Go for what?
For more knowledge about Shard.
Oh, you can ask me things if you like, but probably questions would be best directed at someone who actually pursued the discipline there. That's who I was hoping you would get the chance to talk to. Someone from that following who adhered to that religion probably has some manner of insight as to what your ultimate destiny might be.
Again, this whole talk about destiny? Really?
Does destiny upset you, dear?
I just don't like the idea of having someone else pre-write my choices, you know?
Many people feel that way.
I look at her and be like,
I'm sorry, son. What did you say?
I don't. He doesn't actually speak. I look at her and I'm just like,
But I understand, as sometimes the story has to be followed for the future to
that?
continue.
No,
Whoa,
now,
whoa, whoa, Zentris. Who said that?
I am with the tiny one. I wouldn't necessarily go that far. Destiny calls, and not everyone answers, and the world is better or worse for it. But there is always elements of choice.
So I guess
"But
it's
your
time to
He's
think.
doing much better.
I'm sorry.
I point to him. Sorry, I forgot the character's name.
Oh, his
And
name
I
is
say-
Halam.
I heard that earlier. Yeah, Halam. And I look to him and I'm looking at Zentris and I'm pointing to Halam and I go, as far as parental figures go, I like this one better.
Well, thank you. That's very nice of you to say, young man.
If it makes him feel better, he taught me more. So
Good.
With the way of the open hand comes the way of the open mind, my boy.
So much for an open mind.
So okay. Well, you gave me a lot more answers than I thought. So
It is a real shame. I hope not all of that knowledge, all of those people from the temple were lost. It'd be wonderful if you had someone to connect with. Maybe knows a little more about your history.
I know where to go.
Well,
Katya, this is Katya out of character. This is just Katya talking. Don't you fucking dare! No! Bad! No! We don't
like to
return to
sum it up?
toxic relationships!
I believe I can sum up this with a sound effect.
The Discord blocks it out, but I can feel it. It's like...
Mwah, 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 mwah. If I had to
There it is.
by this time, Halam has guided you to the doors of the monastery. It says, "This is probably not the homecoming that you were hoping for. It might be the one you were expecting. But it is good to see you again. I'm glad you've returned to Waterdeep. I'm glad you've had a view of the outside world. I'm glad that your perspective has been broadened than what Chavo taught you. He's a little narrow-minded sometimes, a little singular in his focus. He's a good man. Not the best friend."
I know, and I only can do the best for myself, and that's what I plan to do.
If you need me, I'll be up at my monastery. And do let me know if there's anything that I can do for you. Now I must get back to my sleepover with good old Hanoa. And he pulls out like a nightcap out of his pocket and puts it on. Next week he'll be visiting me.
Well, you have a good night, Master Halam.
You too, all of you. And he waddles back towards the monastery.
As he was turning around, I kind of salute to him in a monastic, open-handed kind of way.
Nice of you.
Yeah, and Nia just cheers off and then turns straight to Zentris. Right. Now that all of the religious fanatics have left the room, dude, you okay? That was a lot.
It's a lot. It's just, it's a lot. So I just kind of like shut down when it comes to them. So yeah, it's just, they're a lot, and I'm sorry. It was better than I thought.
Hey,
So
first of all, you have nothing to apologize for, and second of all, I'm not surprised you left. But I'm making a lot of assumptions here, and take it with a grain of salt or don't take it all. I don't care. I'm just worried about you. If one of the sides is a dick, that doesn't mean you just shun the entire side. Maybe just shun the person. if you want to. It's up to you. It's your decision to make. It's just that, don't let their assholery influence your final decision, because they're not representing the entire side. And in the other way, too. If they're a sweet-ass person, that doesn't mean you should fucking pick their side. I'm just saying.
Katya,
No.
I'm delighted that you're here.
Halam is right. He just wants the best for me, and he wants the best of his view. But his view of the world is not mine. And so I need to figure out what mine is. And the only way to get that is to get all sides. So.
Fair. In that case, I'll take it upon myself to make sure you also find a better teacher of the light side, I suppose.
Well, sounds like we're going to be dipping our toes in the dark for a little bit.
Well, I feel like it can't do much worse than what we just saw there.
How opposed are you three to seeing Holly again?
Oh, I love a reunion, absolutely.
I'm sorry, is that who you were gonna go for to see?
Do you know anyone else who knows the way of the shadow?
No.
I don't, but I still think it's better than someone who tried to kill us, like, literally 2 days ago.
Oh, no, she didn't try to kill us.
No, that's true. If she wanted to, she would have succeeded.
We would have been dead.
Yeah. She totally didn't mean to kill us by, like, openly threatening us and bringing an entire team full of baddies to, like,
If we wanted to be dead, if they wanted us dead, we would have been dead.
Right.
That's my whole point! We barely got out!
Yeah,
Why do we want to go back? Sorry.
Sorry.
I was going to say Francis, of course.
You guys didn't see what I saw when I stayed back.
Oh, don't worry, we kind of understood what you saw. You were blushing again.
No.
Oh.
The control of power was immense. Much more than I've ever even comprehended. Like, the magic of those swords with Holly, like, almost matched the forge.
Oh, we go Holly now, okay.
Ooh, right, yes. I lean into you, like, you, Nia, specifically. I'm like, Holly.
As you say that, he'll start glowing a little bit. He'll be like, oh.
Also, you
Sorry,
know what?
What was Emannuel saying there? I missed it.
Oh, I lean towards Nia and I go, Holly.
Uh-huh,
Oh, okay.
Holly. We're going with nicknames now. I see you.
I feel like she'd probably be our best lead without getting killed, potentially.
I trust you on the first one. The second one, not so much. But, as you know, the rule is yes and, unless you have a better plan. In this case, I don't yet, but I have a suggestion to, as we're about to go to her, let's stop by the Yawning Portal, because I would rather have someone on speed dial in case stuff goes to shit.
And I reach into my pocket and pull out a card. And I go, funny you should mention that. I happen to have a personal invite.
Funny that you mentioned that. The place that we need to go is the Yawning Portal, so it sounds like all three of our paths are leading to one.
Wait, why do you... Oh no, did Halia tell you to go to Yawning Portal?
Me or him.
Zentris will start, like, glowing brightly, but not saying anything, and just start walking a little bit faster ahead.
I terribly hide my face towards Nia and I go, yes.
Yeah,
No, it's not. It's just the contact that knows how to get a hold of them is there.
Okay,
So-
is the contact's name Durham?
Yes.
Fuck.
And I
The
point out,
contact's
Okay,
name is Dapple.
Devil, sorry, yeah.
Okay, cool. So, I was like,
Right.
if we have the same contact person, that would be just perfect. It's like, so Nia just sighs like, okay, if anything, the cannon's ready. Hey, if we burn down the entire Yawning Portal, there's gonna be less problems. Well, probably. I don't know.
and it's going to work this time.
So, Emannuel,
Hmm.
there's zero chance you haven't been to the Yawning Portal before. Having grown up in Waterdeep with a dad like your dad.
We've been there.
Yeah. You might not have been there for long, You might have seen it more from the outside than the inside growing up, but you've been inside, and you know how to get there, and you know that it's open at all hours. That said, it's midnight or so. Would you like to go there now, or go there in the morning?
I mean, we're in town. I'm fine with doing it now if you guys are.
I'm energized and good to go.
Let's go.
All right. Anyone that is near a computer, I invite you to Google Yawning Portal and have a fun view of a place that is very famous in Faerunian lore. You guys make your way to this multi-story legend of a building down south on the high road. As you go in, even at this late hour, the place is alive with music, with song, with laughter, with the sound of bones crunching against bones and furniture breaking in some corner of the tavern, of shouts of approval, shouts of insults, gambling, and this is a slow time.
Oh no.
There's one long bar across one wall of the place where a single human individual seems to be keeping up with all the demands of this incredible place. The reason that it is called the Yawning Portal is because the structure was built upon a sunken tower. And in the middle of the ground floor of this establishment, there is a hole tunneling down into God knows what, into sickening blackness. There's actually a pulley system and a wooden platform where folk can pay a single gold coin and be lowered down into Undermountain, a famously deadly dungeon laden with treasure from centuries of dead adventurers down below. The place is filled with folk from every social station, of every species and race, of every age, except to a certain point that can't drink, and every size, large creatures, tiny creatures like Nia, and everything in between. In fact, it's hard to focus on any one thing as you walk into the Yawning Portal for the first time, because there are so many things to draw the eye. So let's have a perception check to see if anything noteworthy stands out to you.
And as we're rolling, I just want to make a statement that I have made before, but I just want to remind everyone in advance, I am sorry. Because here's the deal. Rose can attest. Like, you already know I'm pretty spontaneous and, like, impulsive as is when my characters go.
No, we didn't pick up on that at all.
Nah.
So, in taverns, that gets turned up to about, like, 100. I have never entered a tavern as a character and did not leave and left without a fight. Not on purpose. I never plan it. I am just saying, I am sorry if it happens again. Anyway, let me roll for that perception. Woo! 25.
Hey.
That is good. 25 is going to definitely net you some stuff, but what did everyone else get?
See, I got 18.
18?
22.
22. All right. So, with these numbers, let's start with the 18. With the 18, Emmanuel, your eye is drawn towards the end of the bar, where a onion-shaped man is sat at the end of the bar. Small at the top, small at the bottom, round at the middle. He's dressed sort of in a musketeerish fashion, with high-topped folded-over boots, a sword at his side, an ostentatiously feathered hat, And in front of him, though it can't be read from this distance, you can see a brass plate set upon the end of the bar, as though this is a figure of importance and is sat in their spot. You also see the bartender, whose name you know to be Dernan, though you haven't seen him in some time, looking exactly the same as you remember him when you were a kid. Man has not aged a day. And you see, because you were fascinated by it as a child, that there is a great sword hung above the bar on 2 pegs on its own special plaque within easy reaching distance of the bartender. And this part fascinated you. It's a legendary weapon from down in Undermatten, stolen from the mad mage Hallister himself, named Grimvault. And everyone's just hanging around it like it's nothing. Zentris, with your role, you manage to notice that there is a rather dark-skinned woman in a foreign style of attire, wrapped repeatedly in this white fabric with a wrap upon her head and golden chains, seated quite close to the edge of the yawning portal. She seems to be keeping an eye on most things that are going on, particularly paying attention to... she's drinking, but she's drinking alone. Seems very comfortable, very at home at this place, just kind of taking in the rest of the scenery around her. For some reason, she sticks out to you.
Okay.
Nia, you had the 25.
Mm-hmm.
Amidst all of the hustle and bustle of this place, you notice that there is a second floor with different tables kind of looking down over all of this place. And there are also all the tables and the bar stools, and then there are these alcoved booths with half-drawn curtains where you can enjoy a little bit of privacy, if you wished, inside of the tavern. And between 2 of these velvet curtains, you see a familiar face. That of a sun elf, dressed in performer's attire with a lute strung across his back, seeming to be entertaining the company of at least a duo of attractive women, completely absorbed in telling some story, the contents of which you can only guess. They are Davil Starsong, introduced to you back at Wave Echo Cave.
Oh.
The one that counterspelled you, as I recall.
Uh-huh. So remember I gave you all a warning? I did.
Doing this?
I will see where she's looking and
Yeah. Nia like taps both of them on his shoulders and like, hey.
okay,
Oh dear.
play cool. That's what we're here for.
I look at Nia and I'm just like,
I didn't even do anything yet.
Yeah, if you feel like hitting someone, just hit me. I can recover myself. It's fine.
not it.
I don't plan on hitting anyone. We're just here to talk and, make
I
sure
want-
he knows not to counterspell me again.
I look
I
at her
just
and
want
I say,
to
"Can I
make
get
sure
that in
you said
writing?"
Sorry, what? I couldn't understand what either of you were saying
Sorry,
just now.
you go first.
No, you go first. Go, sorry.
Okay, can I get that in writing?
That's why I wanted to hear it come out of her mouth. I wanted to make sure she said it.
Listen, if nobody's gonna start it first, there's gonna be no fighting, and then she's just gonna start flying straight up.
No, and there she goes.
Good luck
Hey,
catching up.
out of the doorway. Have a seat, order a drink, or just clogging the business.
I pull up to the bar and I sit at one of the stools or whatever we got exactly here.
Yep. The man behind the bar walks over to you. Dark hair coming down towards his shoulders, pushed back out of his face. Leathery skin, hairy arms, dark complexion. Looks like... this man looks like he could run this whole bar on his own and possibly pick it up on his back if needed. He throws a towel over his shoulder and plants both hands and cracks his neck, says, "Drinking?"
I said, just the basics, all right? Sort of brown ale if you got one.
I will walk up to him, put my hand on his shoulder. Hey, let's go make sure that we've got the coin from that guy real quick.
Right. Never mind. Hold on.
Oh.
Forgot I was broke. I completely forgot.
He was in the middle of pouring a nail and stops. Come back when you're ready.
Fair enough. Right. Lead the way.
Nia this whole time was just like, she decided to take a flight straight up to the 3rd floor to talk to the guy. I'm being nice.
Okay. How fast are you going? Like, can we catch up with you, or are you just like bolting?
I mean, I didn't run, but I flew, and you guys can't really fly after me. You'll have to climb the stairs, right?
She'll make it she'll make it a little bit ahead of y'all. There's nothing. I mean, you have to kind of like excuse me through your way through some patrons. But you have no trouble getting up there. And as you make your way to the curtains, Nia, you saw a pair of women with Dabble, and now that you have made it to the curtains, you see an accessory female and another gentleman, all crammed into this booth, a total of 5, all listening to Dabble telling a story. Right, so, there he was, eyes burning inside of a crystalline white skull. Euphira turns to me, suggests that we should retreat, but I say no. No, this is our opportunity.
Story again?
Why, if it
Honestly,
isn't the
go
little
with the
fairy
story.
girl? Wonderful. You know how this one ends. Why don't you tell?
Oh, I would love to. You know, at the end with all those glowing eyes, this guy decided to hightail it right the fuck out of there. Honestly, he's all talk. Just letting y'all know.
They all look back to him and says, alas, the small one is correct. We took Tashlin's advice on that day and absconded with all of the treasures that we found in the Doom. Lich is still there, I imagine, quite the pauper after our visit. But, while it has been so wonderful entertaining you all this evening, I'm afraid that I have business to attend to, if you would excuse me. And he regretfully casts glances to his right and left as his companions for the evening rise with groans and sighs and comments about, that was a really unexpected ending, as they leave and pass Zentris and Emannuel, who are approaching.
Nia just smiles at him. What? I just answered your counterspell. In my own style.
And you are more than welcome to do so. Come, please, sit. Would you like anything to drink? I have a running tab at the moment.
Appreciate it. No wishing to drink with you. Do have a talk, though.
Please, I'm all ears.
Where can I find Halia?
Straight to the point. Halia is actually in hiding at the moment. We'll get to why in a bit. I was hoping to have you all liquored up and in a good mood before we got to this point. Gentlemen, anything for you?
I show up in the background. Ha, very funny. Flying away. I'm kind of out of breath.
I'll just shake my head and be like, no, I'm fine, thank you.
Yeah, none for me. And I sit down at the table there.
He has a bottle chilling on the table, and he takes it out and pours himself a glass of something sparkling and says, well, to each their own, to your very good and continued health. He drinks about half of it. I must say, I wasn't quite expecting you so quickly. I thought you all had things to do back in Phandalin.
Worried about Phandalin.
Sorry, I only caught about half of that.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So I'll try to speak closer to the mic. Why are you so worried about Phandalin?
Frankly, I'm not anymore. We have what we came there for. I just thought you, the adventuring heroes, the dashing do-gooders, might have some reason to stay.
You say it like it's a bad thing.
No, I think it's a wonderful thing. Folk who can not be bought. Folk who adhere to morals, who have an intrinsic sense of right and wrong in the world, are very useful people.
Ah, I see. So anything you say sounds like sarcasm. Well, a very, very fitting, if you will.
Does it? Oh. I should really look into that. I'm being quite sincere.
Mm-hmm. So, why is Halia in hiding?
Well, before we get down to that, allow me to reintroduce myself. I'm Davil Starsong. I am the Master of Opportunities for the Zentarum, the Black Network, whatever you wish to call them, here in Waterdeep, and I have been for quite some time. Halia works for me. Oh, well, I should say, works with me now. Since your little escapade, she's received a promotion. She is now the Black Network's Master of Opportunities. Not opportunities, that's me. Of acquisitions. Retrieving unusual, eccentric artifacts that have specific applications, shall we say.
You're welcome for that.
Yes, I do not discount that you had a large hand to play in Halia's endeavor. In fact, I think that is why she thinks so highly of all of you. Which is why I'm hoping that by the end of this conversation, we can come to a mutually beneficial arrangement. Nevertheless, to answer your question first, Halia is in hiding because the Zentarum here in the city are split all of a sudden. You see, our control over the network here in Waterdeep and the surrounding cities was unquestioned until recently, quite recently, when a contender arrived. That contender is specifically interested in undermining our efforts and our continued existence within the city, and our best chance at overthrowing this pretender comes with Halia's continued survival. As such, we have her in hiding.
Nia smirks. What? Another leader decided to clone himself? How fitting.
Oh, so you have some backstory, then. Do share. It might help catch up the others.
I have my ways. I feel like I should do it at a different time. Prefer you not be included in all our conversations, but I think you might know already some, considering we had a chance to meet one of your lovely companions. Delrath, his name is, I believe? She looks to Zentris to confirm.
Dalroth Stoutson.
Ralph Stunson.
Oh, Stoutson! Oh, for his little jape at the gates, did you? Oh, God. You were not the intended target of such a scheme, I assure you. What did he take from you? Let me make it up to you, I insist.
No need for that.
No. Look, I don't want there to be anything between us.
Oh, really?
Please.
You should have thought of that before the Wave Echo Cave.
Let's play it as even playing field for now, and say you owe us a favor.
Well, fair enough. That does sound like an opportunity to me.
Thought you were the man for it.
Well, as your fairy friend declines to tell you, you are aware of the story of Manchun, or are you not?
I nod yes, because, I'm from this town.
Sure.
Nia kind of glances to the others. Basically, their leader kind of had a moment of wanting to exist forever thing, and decided to clone himself a bunch of times, and then all of the clones could not figure out which one is the real deal. And shit went down from there. Did I miss anything?
No, that would have had you up to date until, a couple of months ago.
Oh, right out.
when someone claiming to be Manchun arrived here in Waterdeep. Now, Manchun was one of the founders of the Zentarum, so obviously, if Manchun were to arrive, he would have a greater claim to the Black Network here in the city, and barely any city, that he wished, than the Doom Raiders do. Also, he would probably try and set himself up as the Wizard King of Waterdeep, conquer the Sword Coast, and then continue on to the lands beyond in his maniacal scheme that he tried to perpetrate, but got in his own way of doing several decades ago.
So
Now,
evil protecting evil.
Sorry?
So evil's protecting evil, then.
I'm not sure I follow.
So what you're telling me is that you are here to protect the city against another darkness, but you are... I'm just trying to follow where the good in any of this is.
I see. Well, good is such a relative thing, and something I don't like to deal with. It's different to everyone. Evil, on the other hand, is quite cut and dry. There are grey areas, of course, but then there is just the flat-out black of wholesale murder, genocide, and tyranny. And that is what Manchun has on offer. Now, my people, the Doom Raiders, are some of the most powerful and capable individuals on the Sword Coast, and we have a mind to silence this pretender for good. And that plan rests rather firmly on the shoulders of one Halia Thornton and her magical Eclipse Edge, now that it has been fully reunited.
Why is that the key?
Well, Halia would do a better job explaining all of that. It's a shame, really, that she's not here. Something about some ancient prophecy, the child of the eclipse, the dichotomy of light and darkness, and deposing a great threat to the world. Apparently, the stars are aligning for some sort of prophecy. Regardless, though I don't personally put too much stock in them, the world has been turned by such words in the past. At the very least, it's a very powerful weapon in very powerful hands, ready to prevent a great evil in this city and the lands beyond. And for the part that you played in that, we are supremely grateful. Now, why won't you let me buy you a drink or give your money back to you from that Stoutson cad?
To put it bluntly, we don't fucking trust you.
If I could
Afraid of
elaborate
something
on
like
that, I think I can level with you as to why, possibly. Not saying we'll distrust you forever, but if you give me about 30 seconds of a question. If we had said no to giving you the sword, clearly you and your entire party, each one of you, could have killed us. Why'd you even ask?
Yes, so about that. Let's take a little bit of a step back and look at your time in Phandalin as I currently understand it. You ran afoul of these Red Brand ruffian types, yes?
Yes, we did.
They were doing bad things, even though some of them were just people who fell on hard times or had lives that led them in a certain direction to where they were in the way of you doing good, of you saving the town of Phandalin. And so, you killed them. And I'm very glad, trust me, that this is not the case. The four of you and those two dwarves that were in the cave stood in the way of us saving the city of Waterdeep and the free world as we know it. Would have been an acceptable sacrifice.
Had a feeling of that. True, you make good points of morality, and I did my very best not to hurt anyone if I didn't have to. I'm sure that's how you answer all things, day in and day out.
I am so glad that we didn't have to hurt one another. That is the preferable outcome.
I asked this question. I said, I want to know this. All that being said, How many lives is too many? Because I feel that may not be a real number with you.
I do not know, thankfully, and honestly, what Manchun maximum capacity for genocide might be. Anything less than that is preferable.
And that's why I don't trust you.
That is a shame.
Controlled chaos is better than darkness, though.
Now,
Yeah, but that can now be just the two choices.
But
Also,
do
hi, Jack.
sometimes it is the choice between the lesser of two evils. I don't pretend that I have the moral high ground here. I am an opportunist. I take what I can when it is given. I crave control, coin, power, influence, as do most members of my organization. But under Manchun's leadership, there would be fewer qualms as to what they would be willing to do to get them. I would like to have a world to rule. I don't think Manchun cares so much.
So, to rephrase what you're saying, basically you're saying you took away the swords and you would have killed us because it was for the greater good, right?
Oh, I believe your large friend has pointed out that it would be for the lesser evil, more so than the greater good. Far be it from me to change his mind.
Well, as your ways go, which I personally disagree with the whole idea of, getting there's a very clear difference between, preventing more violence from happening and actively killing anyone along the way to your goal. I just hope we can actually find Halia wherever she's hiding, because I understand she's important. We're not going to reveal her hide or anything. We just need a chat.
Quite unlikely.
What if we helped?
I'm sorry,
Nia
what was that?
glares at Zentris.
You guys don't have to join me in this.
Oh no, taking down bad rulers anytime, but them?
Like, where is the greater good in this? There is no greater good, so you have to choose the lesser evil.
I prefer creating my own choices outside of the little box that was presented to me.
But do we have enough power to do so?
That is the question, isn't it?
Hey, I can always build a bigger cannon. Just give me some time.
Look,
I believe you.
I know that we got off on the wrong foot. You worked very hard for something that I took away. And I am sorry for the foot that got us off on. You needn't take my word for it. In fact, I would be very interested in having an outsider's opinion on the matter. We have some information as to the possible whereabouts about this Manchun pretender. We don't honestly know if there's any validity to him actually being Manchun. If you want to find out for yourself, that is information that I could share with you. You could go determine for yourself. Deal out the counteroffer, or possibly die in the attempt. Either way, it would be for a good cause.
Kind of, find the information for you and live or die. It's gonna be for greater good, because we're the good heroes that are gonna give you all the information, right? Is it? And she turns to the other two. Is it clear that I don't like him?
Oh,
You know
yes,
what?
very.
I was picking up on that.
I'm just very happy you haven't shot him yet, Nia.
Praised
No.
me. No.
Oh. On that note, I recommend it. Dernan is a moral man, but he's a businessman, first and foremost. I have some longevity here at the establishment and have spent quite a lot of coin entertaining fellow business associates. I believe that the bar would rise to my defense, should you start swinging fists.
Yeah, that's we don't have the higher ground here.
Nia just smiles at him and goes, "Don't worry. I strike only when the iron is hot." Yeah.
Well, what information can you give us for now so we can make a decision?
If you would prefer to not take my word for it, have a poke around Colot Towers, down south of the high road. Information says that if he's anywhere, he's there. There's a magical field around the place that has prevented incursion for quite some time, something that the likes of Manshoon would have very little difficulty overcoming, but means that the City Watch and the City Guard are unlikely to consider anyone hiding out there. And if they were, they would have difficulty accessing it themselves. So, have you, by chance, had any dealings with Erstal Floxen?
We have, actually.
I kind of look, because I wasn't there when it happened. I look at him just kind of like...
Floxen is an accomplished assassin here with the Black Network, a very useful man before the arrival of this Manshoon-type character. Since then, he has been missing in action. We believe him to be the first among the defectors, and likely someone who is rallying our loyal Black Network to the opposing side. If you should happen to encounter him again, do be wary of anything that he tries to sell you. You may not trust me, but trust me when I say he is untrustworthy.
I will nod my head. There's a balcony, right?
Mm-hmm.
Can I look down and scan? Because he was supposed to be down there, too.
Oh shit, yeah.
Your information on Floxen was ask for Floxen, and Floxen will find you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you like ask for him at the yawning portal. Okay, cool. Well, it has been a very pleasant conversation. Hoping not to have another one anytime soon, but
You've been so
as-
forthcoming with all of your opinions up to now. Now you are the sarcastic one.
learning from the best.
Quite a dichotomy you represent.
Welcome to an artificer's world. Where can we find Durham, if you happen to know him? If not, I'll find him myself.
The owner. Serving drinks, as always.
Yeah, I point to him like, I tried to get one from him earlier, but, you know.
But then someone flew off to a different floor.
No idea what you're talking about. Perfect.
And if you are going to speak with him, tell him we could use another round of the bubbly up at my booth. All right,
Sure.
well, one of you tell him, please.
I think we can do that.
And something for yourself. Just put it on my tab, please. I insist. I feel like we're going to be very good friends.
Totally.
I say to him, who knows? You could be right. We could be besties, absolutely. Tell you what, keep the drink. Where's Dalroth?
Would you like him killed? I can have him killed.
Tell me where he's at. I'll take care of the rest.
I can find out for you. Would you like that?
Sure.
Actually, can you summon him?
Believe it
here?
or not, I have more than 5 or 6 people working for me. I'll have to work my way down the chain of command, and where would you like him? Name a place, name a time. I'll have him delivered. I'll have him delivered roped up, if you prefer.
Let's say the watch, noon tomorrow.
Consider it done.
Oh boy.
I start to get up.
let's
Yeah, we out.
reconvene. Yeah, so I nod my head at him and turn around and start walking away.
Oh, and if you see those lovely young ladies and the gentlemen on your way out, tell them I'm lonely again.
As Nia leaves the room, she finally goes, I never wanted to take a shower more than after this conversation.
And we are making our way down.
Yep.
And I kind of lean back as I'm leading the way out. And I'm hoping, am I out of his earshot? I don't want him to hear me.
Sure.
All right. And I hope they're close enough because I know this guy's got a fucking network everywhere.
Sure,
Literally.
this is yeah. Lots of chatty around you. You're good.
Yeah.
I say to them, I said, you might be wondering why. I've learned something over the years. The users use people. The only thing you can do, use them back.
I see that. And also, technically, he does owe you one, so perfect.
Absolutely. Several, but we'll start small. And by the way, just so you know, the Tales of Manchun is an absolute raving lunatic. If he is actually back, that man is the better choice. Not that I like him.
Hey, fair. But at the same time, I really don't want to trust any of those people, including Halia, but I understand that Zentris, you really need her right now. So let's...
I look back at me and I go, the users use people.
Let's probably get down to Durham. I got a quick chat, and maybe then be able to find Halia. I did not understand a word what he said about where she's at, but Zentris, you looked like I kind of knew what he was talking about.
Well, we won't find Halia for a while. Let's follow up with what we need to do for at least tonight and then tomorrow, and we can go from there.
Sounds good.
If she's in hiding, we're not going to find her.
Yeah, absolutely. Do I see those ladies he was talking about?
Oh, God.
Yes.
Absolutely.
They've situated themselves at another table and are just entertaining one another. They're still in the same clique.
I look at them and I go, that chap back there says he's very horny and lonely. It's something like that. I might have gotten it wrong, and I continue to walk past them.
3 of them stand up and collect their drinks and start meandering back. One of them knocks over their stool and bolts upstairs.
So I didn't hurt his chances at all. I thought that might unsettle them.
And he is like, damn, an elf? More like a walking STI.
Let's take a break on that. We're going to play our little art reel, guys, and we're going to come back here in a few minutes. Give us a restroom break. Let us refill our drinks. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Hi to Sarah in the chat. Hey to Eric. Hey to Otter. Thank you guys for spending part of your day with us. We will be back very soon.
On a
No
literal day?
clap.
That would be one of the highest level campaigns I've run, actually.
Let's go!
Like
Do this.
campaigns, not one shots, right?
Ooh, we're back.
Hello, everybody! Welcome back to Misty Mountain Streaming. Thank you to Overnumerousness for the resub. I think Overnumerousness is yeah, he was in the chat earlier. The longest supporter of this channel. 16 consecutive months of subscription from our friend Overnumerousness. Family Fantasy RPG, hello! How's it going? How you doing?
Woo!
And also, thank you to, did I say Pure Brutality 89 for the follow? Appreciate you joining our weird little corner of the internet. We're back.
It's a very weird corner.
We are in. I wasn't looking at what I was doing, and I poured way too much bourbon, so be ready for fun.
Strap in, everyone.
As long as you don't roll, like...
The Chroma Conclave shows up and just...
No! You son of a bitch! That is such a cool name, though. I love that.
That
As
is
level
good.
5, we would be fucked if they showed up.
Seriously, have y'all managed to watch season 2 of The Legend of Vox Machina yet?
Oh my god, it's so fucking good.
I genuinely wrote an article on our dungeon feed, which if you don't read my articles on the dungeon feed, I work hard on them. Why are you doing this to me? But I genuinely just wrote them saying, that's how you do dragons.
Mhm.
They are scary and capable of killing a city.
They are giant nuclear
what are the
bombs
clothes?
with wings.
If your players are like, hell yes, a dragon, let's kill it, then you are not doing dragons right.
Yep. You're doing dragons if your players are hightailing it out of there and get killed along the way.
That
Also,
is
hey,
right.
Critical Role, we see you. We're getting to you. Yeah.
I one time did have a game with the dragon, and the players all attacked him like hard as they could, and like.
Well, thank you, Sarah. Hey, speaking of the dungeon feed, Sarah, I'm keeping an eye on an inbox for whenever you contribute an article. I know you were interested. Just let me know. Sophie and I are waiting. What were you saying, Levi?
So they all attack him real fast, hard arrows, spears, swords, whatnot. Ah! And literally, like he stops, and it's like toothpicks in his arm, and he just goes, "Do it again." Do it again. No, seriously, do it again.
The one
And they were
time
like, "Ah, we fucked up."
I really rarely put dragons in my games. I put a Dracolich in my game one time, and I put a dragon in my game one time. When the Dracolich showed up, everybody ran. It was a good time. Chase was in that party. Trin was in that party. Karsten was in that party.
Is this the one about the unicorn? I've heard legend.
This is pre-unicorn days, actually.
What is there about a unicorn? I want to know.
Do we have time to do the unicorn story?
30 seconds. You want to hit it?
Okay.
I don't know.
So there was once upon a time there was a party traveling around in Blackreach, and the wizard was a necromancer and found a magical staff. The magical staff had the soul of another necromantic wizard trapped in it, and it was poisoning his mind, and it was going to eventually be a very big problem. The tiefling in the party decided to altruistically relieve him of that bad influence in his life. He did not take to that very well and shot her in the back with a spell. It was a fire spell. They were in a house. The house catches fire. And as it happens, approaching the house is a small undead horde led by a Bodak, which I love Bodaks. They basically kill stuff around them on accident, just by existing.
Mm-hmm.
So everyone in the house is wondering, how the hell are we going to get out of this situation?
Mm-hmm.
And the wizard had, I don't remember if it was a deck of many things or a wand of wonder, or it had some magic item that would create a magical effect. It was the deck.
That is chaos.
Deck. I remember the deck getting drawn during that game.
Draws a card, and a unicorn is summoned to his side and under his command. And it says, what do you want to do, boss? You want me to fight? You want us to get out of here? What do you want to do? And he says, get out of here. So it takes just him and teleports him a couple of miles away. And everybody else in the party dies.
This was
Beautiful.
such
This
a
is
hated
art.
moment in D&D for the party. I was not playing it.
Oh.
I saw it happen. Another guy
People
we
are
know who
not
works-
friends with that guy anymore with this.
Yeah, this is one of the reasons. That guy now has a mug that says, "I ride unicorns and run from fights."
Yep.
True story.
So unicorns are not rainbows and happiness and sunshine to people who've
Not
played
today.
D&D with me for a while.
I like it.
I almost want to get a unicorn in our campaign now to see what happens.
Just fuck this shit, I'm out.
No thanks.
Oh boy. All right. So there was story time with Rob's past D&D misadventures. Let's get back into this adventure. You guys are in the Yawning Portal, possibly the most famous drinking tavern in all of Dungeons and Dragons. And you just had a conversation with Davil Starsong, one of the 5, now 6, thank you, Hollia Thornton, leaders of the Zentarum, the large mafia, we are the people, massive families in D&D. And he seems to think that maybe y'all could work together. He sees some potential in you to be able to help him and his buddies thwart worse guy from ruling the whole Sword Coast and possibly the world. If there is any validity to that. He gave you a location for where maybe you could find out a little more for yourself if you were feeling froggy. But you guys are headed downstairs to talk to the owner of this establishment. A supernaturally young, but definitely old man named Durnan. Let me know if I missed anything.
No, that's about it. And
Sounds
I
about right.
plan on rolling up to Durnan, and I let him know first off. It says old slappy dabby boy up there says he's dry.
I'm afraid you're gonna have to be more specific.
Dabble, I believe they call him.
Ah. That guy. Right?
Yeah, I know, right?
He reaches down and starts getting together another ice bucket to put some bubbly in.
As he does that, Nia kind of slaps Manuel on the shoulder and goes, "Watch how it's done." And she leans over this giant bar, pretending like it's just big enough for her, and he's just like, "Hey, Durham, just real quick, any chance I can chat with Raynar?"
He kind of looks over his shoulder. Raynar who?
Well, the one whose name you shouldn't say too loud in this place.
Friend of his?
Yeah, a close one. Well, kinda.
In a homebrew rule of mine, you can always tell when someone's making an insight check on you. And you get the Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson eyebrow coming at you from over Durnan's shoulder.
Yes, please. I love that.
Durnan, by the way, fantastic facial hair. Mutton chops and mustache. Just nothing there.
This is like the Peaky Blinders vibe.
Yeah, and kind of looks over his shoulder and says, "Right. Stopped by yesterday. Said someone might come around asking about him. Where'd you wind up? I'll pass it on."
Appreciate it. And as she's asking, she checks in with. Sorry, I need to let my dog out of this room. He closed the door behind him by accident. And now I'm like, buddy.
You're okay. It is not a meow meow, Sarah. It is Siri.
It's a pup pup.
I got paws. I can't open doors. So, but
I know that feeling.
Yep. But and then as Nia answers, she kind of checks in with Emannuel. We're staying at the Longhorn Manor at Seaward, so we're pretty close by neighbors.
Emannuel kind of hangs his head like, "Shit, just say it louder, why don't you?"
No. That's her checking, just we are staying there, right? That's not her inviting herself there.
I'm like, yeah, for now, we don't have anywhere else to stay at the moment.
Fair.
Yeah.
Also, hi,
But
Puffy.
the big fella looked familiar.
I said, "Hello, Durnan. Don't know. Well, good to see you remember me." My God.
Yeah, you're not Pollock or No, you're the other one. Young one.
Yeah.
Been a
That's
minute.
me.
Good to see you.
Yeah. Seems to be I'm getting older than everyone in this town. Gently gestures at him.
Well, trip down to Undermountain has advantages, if you're man enough.
I look at him and I go, clearly.
Don't count me out. I'll outlive all of you.
Oh, I'm counting on that.
Right.
If there was a Deadpool and your name was in it, you'd win.
So how about that drink?
Fortunately, too broke for the night. I have to take a rain check on it.
Hey, I got you. We have a minute, right?
I look at her. I'm like, I already owe you a ridiculous amount. I won't hear of it. There'll be a time I'm paying you back, and then I'm buying everyone else drinks.
I can
Well,
put
it's
it on
not
your
like we're gonna
dad's
get
tab.
arrested this time.
I know that I could, and I know I'm welcome to, but I've trying to do my best to do things on my own.
Fair enough. Respect it. Just trying to get mine.
Absolutely. You know, Dad. He says he loves all sorts of bars, but he really does like this one the best.
Damn Skippy.
Good reason too.
While they're talking, can I do like a perception check to see if anyone's just like keeping an eye on us while we're roaming around?
Sure.
Smart.
Do insight instead for me, please. Lots of eyes go in lots of places around this place. It's not just if someone's looking at you, it's finding out why they're looking at you.
Oh, this one. That's. Oh, okay. 21.
Nice.
21.
That'll do indeed.
Oh. Dashing.
Yeah. There's two people keeping an eye on you. You remember I mentioned that woman and all of the white sitting quite close to the yawning portal in the non-local attire?
Mm-hmm.
She's been keeping a loose eye on you since you guys came in. There's also the fella at the end of the bar with the outrageous musketeer hat who's been watching you as well.
Well, no, I'm bad at talking, so I wouldn't say. I'd just stand there.
do a little pose.
Zentri's like, no. Nah.
No.
So I gotta ask, it's an onion who is a musketeer. Does that make him a musty musketeer?
Ooh.
See
Nice
how
one.
that cuts.
All right, just to initiate, I'll just look at the man in the hat and just nod my head and say, "Nice hat."
Aha.
He flashes you a smile, and man has all of his teeth, and all of them are sparkling white, bristling out from under a Robotnik mustache, and says, "Thank you, Katya." He says, "Yes! Yes, it is. Thank you for noticing."
Always got to compliment a man on his attire.
Says,
Go ahead.
"Your look could really use some sprucing up. You've got a good figure about you, nice jawline, cheekbones, but something's missing. Flair."
Is this a makeover episode?
I mean, I'm not used to flair. That's not my style. But I could understand sprucing my outfit up, maybe.
Drab is your style, and it needs fixing.
Fair enough. I'm going to.
Name's Mert. And he looks at you like you should have heard of that name.
The Mert?
The one and only.
Wait, I have a question.
Yep.
Is he the Onion Knight?
Not tonight. However, the folks from Waterdeep can roll history.
I was about to ask if I could roll a knowledge check on his like looks and outfit do I recognize for this shit?
Possibly.
Oh. Okay.
Oh, bye, Jax.
So what do I have? What are you asking me to roll? Again,
History.
3? Oh,
15.
0. So 19.
19 and
15.
15. That is good enough for both of you. Mert is a wealthy man in the city. So wealthy that money just drips off of him to other people he is associated with. And that is how he gained the moniker Mert the Moneylender. Mert made his fortune with Durnan down in Undermountain. It was the two of them that came out and had all of these fabulous riches and treasures, and for some reason, seemed to live for a very, very, very long time. Durnan used his money to set himself up with a tavern and kind of live out his retirement dreams. Mert set himself up as a socialite. It is rumored that if anyone is one of the masked lords of Waterdeep, surely Mert is. But then there are also rumors that say Mert is a member of the Zentarim. Mert is a member of the Harpers. Mert is a member of the Lord's Alliance. Mert is a drag queen on Thursday nights. There's every kind of rumor there is about anyone. There is that rumor of Mert. He's just such a public figure that everyone has their own ideas about him. But his initial claim to fame was traveling down to Undermountain with Durnan.
So Mert is his own multiverse theory.
Kind of. One thing that can be said about Mert: rich, does his own thing, not bothered by what people think of him.
Would I know him?
Certainly your dad does.
I just nod to him.
Well, wonderful talking to you, Mert.
And you Emannuel. I remember you. I remember you when you were 7 and tall as a tree trunk.
I reach out and shake his hand, and I go, "Thank you for saying it right."
He has a glove on, but he shakes your hand. Says, and he's one of those types. He has bought rings so large that they specifically go on over the gloves. Says, your father is a fine man, in so much that he is a man. He's a fine minotaur, and you are a fine whatever you are. At least, goodness.
That is the best description I've ever heard of myself that anyone's ever made.
Your father actually sent word to me just this evening that I should come and see you on the morrow.
Well, Dad does work in mysterious ways, doesn't he?
No, he's rather a bull in a china shop, but...
I was being ironic, but yes, you're correct.
He reaches a gloved hand up and curls his mustache and says, "There's you in a spot of bother with the Doom Raiders. Unfortunate that. Or fortunate, depending on your perspective."
I kind of motion like, "Do you mind if I sit?" I don't say it. I'm like,
You three, move. And they look at him and like, what the? It's like, Durnan? And Durnan like nods at them and they pick up their drinks and like look at Mert and like wander off. Please have a seat.
I sit down. I say, "Well, it is, you're not wrong. And I wouldn't say we're in trouble with them, but, it is concerning."
Oh, well then your father spun things quite differently to me. Maybe you tell me exactly how it is.
I'll give you the briefest, direct path that I can in the story.
Or don't, I love a good story.
Fair enough. For the sake of the stream and time, I am going to be brief on that, though. But let's pretend I really drew it out.
Yep.
Family. I'm actually
drinks, by the way, I know you had refused drinks from Durnan. Drinks appear for you when you're sitting next to Mert.
And is it like
lovely.
the drink I would want?
Not necessarily. It's whatever Mert is drinking, which is a tankard of something dark.
In this case, I'll accept it. And I take a sniff of, all right then. And I go for a sip, and I tell him, Phandalin, yada yada, Spellforge, and I kind of quietly was like, "We found Spellforge,
Fascinating!
Like, can you believe that after all these centuries?
Amazing.
Well, grand as that was, we find the boys, half dead, rescue them, have to put down this
Ooh.
bloke. I don't know if you know the name Glassstaff. Well, he's at half
Not at
capacity.
all.
Yeah, well, you
Ah,
won't hear the
darn.
name anymore after this.
Good man, I assume.
I helped, but old Talia, which maybe one day you'll get to meet her, she did the final blow, so job goes to her. But I was there, right? I like to say I softened him up, and then I blacked out. But
Ha.
anyway,
I did that just this week.
right, yeah. Cheers.
Ah, right.
Chunk. And and then everything went sideways. Happy ending, going well.
Yep.
And then
As
we're
it
on our way
should.
out. And then I mentioned we found a weird sword, briefly in passes. And then these 5 individuals plus the 6th one show up, and they heavily insinuated that we need to surrender this sword now, or they'll end us.
And what
Kill
did you
the-
do?
Well,
He tried to find other ways to keep the sword. Unfortunately, they made it clear that it's going to be a very specific ending for us.
I drew for a barrel.
basically yes. And if we hadn't been so badly beaten and fully at health, they probably still would have killed us.
Tough situation. I've been had over a barrel before, let me tell you, and it was, well, that actually was a pleasant experience, but I can tell you, I can imagine easily how it would not be a pleasant experience.
Here's the short part. The question that keeps coming up to my mind again and again
Yes.
is, who wouldn't they have killed for that sword? Because I can't think of anyone they wouldn't have sacrificed for it. And you have to say, there are things we do for the greater good. It happens. I know, you know, we've all been there. But when the greater good keeps sacrificing everything continuously, where does the line stop?
That was worth a couple of drinks. Wonderful story. I'll be telling it again at the next gala. You don't mind if I embellish some bits and maybe insert myself in a part or two?
Sure, change our names, leave us out of it.
Ah, okay. We'll call you Manny, then, to protect, the innocent. Names were changed.
Nobody will figure it out.
We'll call Petunia.
You know what? Don't even.
And Zentris. Anyway, and then, of course, Mert. Leastwise. So it seems as though you're not particularly in favor of these Doom Raidery types. And I must tell you, if you haven't made yourself aware already, there's one in this pub.
Oh no, we
had a chance to chat a bit. Not great.
How did that conversation go?
Will try very much to hire us, which is complimentary, definitely. Obviously, it means we're doing something right. But again, I think he would have killed Fandolin, all of Waterdeep. Honestly, I don't think he would have stopped murdering anyone till he got there. And that is the question: could I support someone like that?
And the answer is no.
So let's pretend.
Right?
Let's have ourselves a little thought experiment. You were in his position. What would you do?
Honestly, if they'd have asked politely for it, I think we would have surrendered it. It's the fact that death was so quickly and immediately.
No, so not what they would do. What would you do?
No. I would have explained.
What would you have done different?
If I was in their position, I would have told these people who had the item I wanted how very important it was. And I would have done my best to broker a deal, whatever it is, whether they surrendered it or bought it from them or something. And I would have tried my very best to make them understand that the world was very much at stake with it, which I believe him on that. I'm not doubting the sincerity of it, because, the other side, them, all that, whatnot. And I mentioned, was it Manchun?
Manchun.
And I got close on that one there.
You did.
Yeah, one letter off. So I mentioned this was like, they had to stop Manchun and all that.
They had to do
I
what?
believe it. So what?
They had to do what?
They believe that they're here to stop Manchun. Whether he's here or not, we don't know.
Sort of. Not like Manchun Jones or anything like the.
No,
Manchun.
the one and only.
Hmm.
That's
I feel like we shouldn't have said that. Wait, you so obviously have heard of Manchun, but it sounds like you are.
Oh goodness! Everyone knows anyone has heard of it.
Oh no,
that
it's just
name.
you seem to know more, because the usual reaction is a bit different, if you will.
Well, I know that I may look a man in my prime, little darling, but I am well seasoned, shall we say. Been around for a while. I remember things that some people read about in history books. I remember when everyone knew the name Manchu.
So if you knew Manchun was potentially coming back,
Katya, how dare you?
I am sorry, it was right the fuck there. I couldn't. Continue.
Go ahead, Sam.
Oh.
Thank you.
What would you do?
How dare you?
Beg pardon. The laughter of the small fairy overwhelmed your question.
She does that.
And to be fair, we don't have any idea if it's real or not. That people, as you know, over the centuries, people show up. Some have been real, took care of them. Some of them have just been fellows who looked like him and said they were him, and prophets and messiahs. You know how it is, religious fanatics.
Oh, goodness. So many people have claimed to be me over the decades. Yes, I know well. But I'm sorry, son. You asked what?
Really, the question is, my instinct is that we can't trust them. And,
Oh, goodness, no, don't trust anyone. Why would you?
Oh, clearly not.
Except
no
me,
offense
of
to
course.
anyone. Right, absolutely you. You're the only exception.
Zentris, did you ask, what would you have done?
Yeah.
Okay.
I asked if you were up against potentially Manchun, would you team up against with the Doom Raiders to take him down?
I tell you, son. I'm not prepared to say that my way is the only way, or the best way.
I mean, you're Mert. Of course, it's the best way.
Well, I'm happy that you said it, but I'm not here to say it.
Okay.
I look at Zentris and I just kind of smirk. I'm like, he's learning. I don't say it, but that's my face.
A man has but one soul. A man has but one life. And it is his divine responsibility to do the best he can with it. You keep your nose clean. Do the best you can. If someone else is doing the worst that they can, that's on them. A man must have morals. A man must not compromise. There is much good, there is much evil to be done in the world. And try as you might, you can't stop it all. It's your responsibility to do as little as you can.
Emannuel, how did you put it? Not use people. How does that go?
People who use people use people.
Fair. But those people can also be used.
Yes.
So that would make you the using people.
Fair. But that's just the question of whether I'm using them for good or bad. If they're already using other people, I don't really feel bad for using them, you know?
Is it
Right.
really using, though, if you're doing things for good?
It
One can
still
argue
kind of
it's
is, I think.
That's the question now, isn't it? Is murder acceptable if it prevents murder? Is theft acceptable if it prevents theft?
Do the ends justify the means is the old question.
That's why you should always fight for your own war. Because no matter what, there'll always be an opposing side.
Well, you know, the more I think about it, the more I realize that while, yes, we don't want to trust these people for their lack of morals and their questionable choices and motivations. But at the same time, they are fucking strong. And, if they allow us to defeat greater evil, I would much rather fight them later than dealing with the big bad on our own.
You know what? I've been trying to put something to words, and I think you just helped me answer the question that's been bothering me.
What's the question?
Mert
the
rests
cave.
his hand on his fist.
In the caves, when we met them, we were tired, we were beaten, we were broken. Some of us had nearly died.
Fair.
And that's when they showed up. I think the concern I have is, say we help them, and they use us as cannon fodder, which, smart, brilliant on their parts, honestly. Great move. And then we fight whoever we're fighting, and then we're tired, then we're beaten and broken, half dead, maybe all dead. What do they do with us then, for the second time?
Yeah, they would not have our back. And they pretty much know that we wouldn't have theirs either.
Right. Well, the difference is they know we have morals. They've seen
Sometimes
it.
I wish I didn't.
They used us for exactly that.
So we just take the information and we make the better decision.
Let's hope we get the chance.
And now that I'm invested in this, I must say, I must ask, what's the better decision?
I don't know what it looks like as an action to do, but I know what the result is that I want. I want the good, innocent people of this realm to be happy, to live, to be able to grow old, to not be murdered in their sleep, not to be wasted away by Zentarin or Manjun or whoever else. And I have no idea how to get there.
Tell me. This is a bit of a thought experiment.
Oh,
Is this an either-or situation?
which part's the either or?
Cooperate entirely, or not at all? Are these two sides of the same coin? Or are there more facets to your options?
I think so.
Right, not everything
There's
is just
always more options.
one or the other.
What if, say, you didn't have to choose between the lesser of two evils?
Carve our own path.
Perhaps there's a way to allow both sides to destroy themselves in the attempt. What you're telling me is that there is infighting within an organization. In situations like that, it's very possible for everyone to lose.
Oh, Oh god. Just out of character, Rob, you made a colossal mistake just now.
I agree with that. I'm going to answer Mert's question with another question. So you've given me a very good idea. I'm not saying anything has or hasn't happened, but now I have to ask the question. What if they did believe Manchun was back?
Mm-hmm. Nia, like, looks at Emannuel and, like, I think we got the same idea.
Anyway, Mert, you've been very helpful.
I certainly endeavor to be. And I also certainly don't represent an organization that would be invested in the downfall of the Zentarum and Waterdeep.
Oh, definitely not. Insight check, please.
Yeah, go ahead. have advantage.
Yeah, no, I fucking see you. Let's see. Let's do you
was
for
worse than I
14.
Yeah,
You said advantage.
Yeah, roll again.
Thank you.
Come on, Sam. Got to think this one through.
Okay,
Ah!
dirty 20.
Yeah!
Oh,
Sorry.
he is hardly pretending, but it is so easy for a public figure to kind of hide behind all the rumors around them, but there might be a little bit of sincerity to that. That, yeah, there's a reason he's been watching y'all since you came in. Yeah, there's a reason Ferdinand Longhorn reached out to him. Yeah, there's a reason why he's sat here for the past 35 minutes listening to you talk about Zentarum outside of his personal interest in just being entertained.
Mm-hmm.
Per se. Thought experiments.
Love those.
Completely conjecture.
Garden,
All
by the
theory.
way, empty. Empty. Yes. Go on, son.
Oh, and Nia kind of pushes her cup and like, oh, mine too.
Also hers. Yes, go on, son.
How would you make groups of people believe that there are a bunch of copies of Manchun running about?
We make flyers.
And Nia kind of whispers, wait, what did you say?
Yeah, what
Said
did
we
you say?
make flyers.
Like where you had that.
Nia quietly goes to Emannuel and Zentris and like not really hiding it too much from our new conversation member, and then goes, "You hire an artificer. That's one of the options."
I mean, if you can afford one. Frankly, the rates are exorbitant these days.
Oh, I fully agree.
It's
Well,
a flooded
actually, that's
market.
why I wanted to let you know, in case you're looking for an artificer with reasonable prices and guaranteed quality. Nia.
Guaranteed quality, you say?
Guaranteed.
Yes, absolutely. Nice to meet you.
Yes,
Tell me,
it's
can
true.
you make things that aren't gold look like gold?
Yes.
Asking for a friend.
Yes, but I prefer to work in the legal departments, mostly.
Of
we
course,
can
of
chat.
course. We'll talk later.
Oh, shit. We gotta have the side hustle.
I think you may-
I'm afraid I couldn't begin to conjecture on such an outrageous question. The very idea, unless someone were particularly acquainted with illusion magic, or knew where particular hideouts were that you could misinform, perhaps, about particular raids and subterfuge. Misinformation is the best friend to espionage and infiltration.
Shake the shadows with shadows.
Now, it's a very poetic way of putting it. But yes.
Oh, he's very good at doing that.
He seems it, yes.
kind of his
that
thing.
drab exterior kind of bespeaks of a more poetic soul. You
Sam,
seriously
pull the
need a
hand back
hat.
down.
Should I talk to my haberdasher for you?
Too kind, but no thank you.
Well, your loss. Anyway,
Truly.
this
No, honestly, you
has
should get a
been
hat. I can write in it.
a marvelous discussion. I'm afraid it's getting rather late for me. Perhaps old Mert should call it an evening. I believe, Emannuel, you will pass along to your father that we've already met. I don't, and I can clear that off my schedule for the morrow.
Absolutely.
Wonderful. Wouldn't want to keep an old friend waiting, but at the same time, time is money, and we've already had this meeting, and it was delightful, let me tell you. Nevertheless, anything else you wish to drink or eat? Have you eaten? You haven't eaten. That's going to be affecting you very soon. Perhaps get something on your stomach. Tell Darren, put it on me. Have my seat, in fact. Well, the seat's next to my seat. I have this one rather shaped to my particular buttocks. So maybe not that one. But feel free to sit here, watch over my seat. Deadly serious about that. And then continue to enjoy yourselves.
It has been a very pleasant conversation.
I'm delighted to hear you say so. Remember, if you need anything, ask for old Mert. And don't be surprised if I don't show up. I'm a very busy man, but ask for me nonetheless.
It was a pleasure.
It certainly was.
Might eat a quick sandwich before we go.
Good man. Tall one, like your dad does.
Those are a bit tall, to be honest.
You'll grow into them. You will. Leastwise, very good evening to all of you. And Mert squeezes himself off of the stool and the bar top, and with quite a swagger, waddles his way towards the front door, with a little bit of a Johnny Depp lean to one side as he exits.
Captain Jack Sparrow style.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. As he walks away, Nia kind of goes, "What a well-seasoned onion." Am I right?
That is one way to put it.
And now anyone who wasn't paying attention to the chat earlier gets that from earlier.
No, you just said, "I am seasoned in my travels." I was like, "Oh no, you did not. No, you did not."
Genuinely, look up an image of Mert, M-I-R-T, Mert the moneylender, and tell me the man is not shaped like an onion.
Well, guys.
I'll wait.
Should we stay here or should we turn in for the night?
Now, by my understanding, and someone will definitely correct me, the Yawning Portal is a tavern. It's not an inn.
Yeah.
Drinks,
So
yes. Rooms, no.
So we'd have to wander all the way back to...
We would have to go back.
Or to a nearby inn. Surely some enterprising individual said, you know what? People aren't going to walk home from the Yawning Portal. They need a place to fucking crash.
I'm putting a link in the chat. You're correct. Onion. Good description.
Thank you. Someone appreciates.
Let's take a gander.
I might also consider turnip.
Yes, also that.
Nice.
Thick thighs save lives, though. This man.
But sometimes they're my demise.
He's
Damn,
also,
that laughter was epic.
to retroactively put this in context, he is also known as the Walrus.
Yep.
Around Waterdeep.
Yep.
Makes sense.
Right.
So you are quite alone at the end of Durnan's bar here at the Yawning Portal. Everyone has given you space. They have been scared away by Mert and/or Durnan. And as long as you don't sit in Mert's seat, you have this little area to yourselves.
Mm-hmm. I kind of lean in and, and I tell Turnan, it's like, one sandwich. Mert's tab, I'll take it this one time. And I'm not going to make a habit of that.
Beef, BLT.
BLT is good. Never mind
Ham and
bacon.
cheese. Panini? I can do a panini.
Ooh, panini sounds good.
You know what? He's right. Panini.
2. 3.
Katya.
I'll take probably a quarter.
2 1/4 paninis.
They better
Now
have sides.
I will.
Like...
And now I am obliged to, whenever I run the Yawning Portal for the rest of my life, have paninis on the menu.
Yay!
Absolutely.
Tax.
Thanks very much, Larceny Bourbon. Appreciate that.
Hey.
I lean in with my little group here with you guys, and I say, I'll have to ask Dad about the organization that he works for, because I'm pretty sure he knows.
Yeah.
Everyone's connected to somebody.
I don't know, get in touch somehow, because
Blam, he shows up.
seriously, he might just
Ah,
know.
Renar Neverember. I have a different voice from the other day.
Hi.
Yeah, and can I look around and see if that other woman is still sitting there, by the way?
Ooh,
Yeah.
oh yeah.
She's still chilling. She seems to maybe have lost interest in y'all and is watching another group on the far side of the room.
Okay.
Perception check. What's she doing? I mean, what's this girl's deal?
If Zentris points her out to you and you have a look,
Dirty 20.
30-20,
Mhm.
she seems to be casting her eyes, and don't take this the wrong way. She is watching who she considers to be all the low to mid-tier adventuring parties in the Yawning Portal.
And having talked to
Is that a
Mert, we've now
quest
passed
time?
that.
Because I think it's a quest time.
What did you say, Levi?
Yeah. So now having talked to Mert, we've passed that level.
Yeah, totally. We just leveled up like
On
that.
the storyline, that's the side quest.
Or for some reason she after that experience she has lost interest.
Zentris? What?
Yeah, it's like, nah, they didn't start a single fight yet. They're not the people I'm looking for.
I'll roll a thing real quick.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Durnan catches you keeping an eye on her and says, figuring on, as he sets your paninis down, figuring on venturing down into the portal then?
I look at her and kind of say to him, so like, oh, that's what she does. Right.
She represents Wakanga Otamu from the island of Cholt. She is very interested in collecting rare and unusual magical artifacts for her lord and master. The type that can only be found in Undermountain. So she sponsors folk in venturing down in exchange for rare magical oddities that they might bring back.
Sounds lucrative, if not dangerous.
It is if you can be bought with money rather than magical power. Her name is Obaya Uday. If you wish to speak with her, I'm sure she'd be more than happy to talk to you. Though she's likely to lose interest if you have no interest in Undermountain.
Right. Thank you for that info.
Nia looks to the ocean and goes, do we have an interest? We just came out of a cave.
Yeah, maybe not today.
Yeah, I think we've got more pressing matters.
No offense, but, you don't look ready for Undermountain.
You could be right about that.
Give it a couple of months. Maybe so.
Right. Come back when I'm buff again.
Zentris will try that and just doesn't happen. Oh.
Gear third. Sorry, I'm a One Piece weeb. I have been since college. Speaking of which, I'm very excited to be going to C2E2 because we were behind the One Piece display last year. I was so happy. Anyway. Yes, so the Yawning Portal seems to be clearing out. At this late hour, it's about 2 a.m., you see Davil leaving with 3 of the 4 people that he was up there with earlier. He tips you a wink as he leaves the building.
Nia goes. Nia goes.
Of course you do, and rightly well you should. Obaya Uday finishes her drink that she's been nursing for hours. Leaves the building. Mert has already left. This place is not closing, but everyone you know has left. Make another insight check for us, people.
Let's see.
Ooh.
15.
15,
30,
20,
16.
16. The bard that has been playing Eric, hey, what's going on, my dude?
My dude.
Hey, Scott, how's it going? Tell us in the chat how the broadcast went tonight, how the happy hour went. Thank you guys so much for joining us. I am large cup of bourbon in, and we're actually in a tavern. Hey, Bliss, how are you doing? Yeah, the bard playing up there, and you all noticed the bard that has been playing. Weird fellow. His lute only has 3 strings on it, and he's been doing his best to eke out different familiar tunes on it. Not terribly great musician, as a matter of fact, to be able to be hosted by the Yawning Portal. Nevertheless, as the place clears out, he has been kind of watching you guys more and more. Maybe he's waiting for a tip. Maybe he's just trying to make eye contact. Maybe he's actually interested in you as individuals. You're not sure. Nonetheless, he seems to be paying more attention to you than the other people in the tavern.
Nia clocks him and then goes to the other one. Should we... Hold on, I have an idea. She flies up to the bard and goes, "Do you want me to take a look at that?" And points to the instrument.
Well, hey? Sorry?
Oh, you got 3 strings? There's usually more, to my knowledge.
Oh, yes. Well, you see, lesser musicians might need more than 3 strings. However, I believe that I do quite well with just the 3.
Ah, I see. I actually thought that the more strings, the more experienced musician you are.
Who told you that?
Nia shows up with a guitar like this.
She whips out the guitar.
On a piano or something.
Nia takes a level in Bard next game.
Yep. Yeah.
Who told you that? Was it that devil character upstairs? He's been heckling me all evening.
Oh, please, absolutely not. Also, he's very much a dickhead. I have no interest in talking to him.
He is a dickhead.
No, that's, the practice in Neverwinter, when I would, fix the instruments for, the dear friends of the Artificer Guild. I would always ask if they would need more strings or a little bit more tune.
Is something wrong with my tune?
Oh, please, absolutely not. Your tune was perfect. I'm just wondering.
Just so you know, it was bad. Like, you can butter him up all you want. It was not great.
Oh, yeah, I figured. That's what he's like. If you wanted to add another string or 2, just let me know.
Oh, right. He starts trying to play with one hand on 3 strings and reaches out. Name's Mattim.
Nia. Nice to meet you.
Very good to meet you. And he puts his other hand back to playing. Says, "Well, if I lose another one, tell you what, I'll look you up."
So and Nia quietly just tells, "So you did lose one. Okay. You have a good one."
Sorry?
No, you have a good one.
You too. I work for tips, you know.
Oh, I know. She keeps flying.
Me too.
Love it.
That's terrible.
I was being nice.
Yeah.
Anyway, not a lot happened there. Don't worry about it.
So, should we go find a place to crash for the night?
Well, I think we already have one. Right?
Okay.
Yeah, that's
she
true.
looked
At
Emannuel.
least until Antonio and his friends come back.
Tell you what, Mum and Dad love to make a good spread for anyone. Any excuse to make a feast. They're all about it.
Fair. Also, wasn't there something about, like, your brother coming back? Aren't we, like, occupying someone else's space?
No, actually, we're in my old room. But the house will be quite occupied. I don't know. Have you watched the fighting tournaments?
The artificers that I worked with in Neverwinter were always obsessed with it, so I kind of, got
Here's the
informed of stuff, whether I wanted to or not.
Here's the quick story, how it works. There is the one part that you can win, surely by force, grand champion and whatnot, but it is considered better if you are campaigning along the way to announce your arrival, to declare yourself as the upcoming winner. It's almost a political process. And if you don't have people in your corner, it makes it more difficult towards the end. Anyway, the reason I say all that is because Dad used to do it years ago. And, well, my dearest brother he's up for it. There's a very good chance he's going to win. And, well, Dad has very much sworn to assist him in training, campaigning, polling, all of it.
All the other
Teaching.
aimings.
Yeah, all of it.
I'm sorry. Does that mean he'll have to fight your dad?
No. No, Dad fights every once in a while just for the fun of it, but no, he's retired. You know, he'll show up, he'll smile, he'll wait, kiss some babies. Usually they scream and cry because he's very terrifying if you're not used to it. It was fine for me, but like I grew up with it. But it's like I said, it's very political. Nowadays, he's just there to support. Think of it as he's can't think of anything. Kind of a sort of a trainer. That's really the situation going on here. So sometime over the next week, Antonio will show up from the forests. He's been doing some intense, very scary things. And well, it's it's not to say that we couldn't find a place to stay, but they really won't have the time for us. And at that point, I'm really hoping my funds back, and then we'll have a nice hotel, and then I don't know what else. We'll figure it out from there. But that's the plan.
That is fair. Yeah, and also just staying there is quite lovely. Not for long term, obviously, but they seem to be really happy that you're around. So
yeah. Oh, and I should mention Antonio can be a bit of a dick, so you really wouldn't want to be around him too much. He can
Better
be nice.
than the monastery.
Yeah, I'm not saying I don't want to do a measuring contest here, but
Oh no, family's family.
I wouldn't pick either of them.
Nia kind of just goes quiet, like, we seem to have a trend here, don't we?
Yeah.
Too late in the night, not enough drink.
Agreed. Hey, can we get another one?
Aaron comes over and just knows to be putting things on Mert's tab at this point.
Yeah.
You wouldn't happen to have a moon drink, but no.
Ooh.
What now?
Hold on.
Look,
No, I don't need to get it.
This is a respectable establishment. We don't sell those hallucinogenic Moonvale Isle drinks here.
I looked at her and I said, I'm
Moonshade.
so sorry. My friend didn't know better. He didn't mean offense by it.
Look, if you are a junkie who has to get your fix, maybe you try the Jade Dancer.
It rings a bell. Aren't you guys... Oh, yeah.
Well,
Didn't know.
Maybe Gralkin's Tankard.
Didn't mean any offense. I apologize. New to this.
He goes back to polishing a tankard and then looks back at you and then goes back to polishing a tankard. You guys close out the night. Stay as long as you wish. If you want to be here till sunup, you can, but I doubt you want to be exhausted tomorrow.
That is fair.
I
We
was
don't know
gonna
if
say-
we're going to fight tomorrow.
I say we should head back to the house.
Yeah. Head back.
Head back to the house, return to the Longhorn Estate, let yourselves in by the southern garden gate once again, up the trellis to the second floor, and put yourselves in bed to sleep away the morning and into the midday. And that, I think, is where we'll pick it up next time, which is not, once again, next week. We have a couple of weeks off, and then we will be returning to this situation here in the Sea Ward of Waterdeep, looking for ways to maybe turn the Zentarum against one another? What's up,
We
Levi?
got some options to think about.
I did want to do one little character thing for myself. On the way in, I see the wall, and I take off my top piece of armor so I have a little bit of mobility. I just hand it to Zentris, and I want to go for a dexterity check to see if I can take the wall.
Oh, go for an athletics check for me, please.
That's what I meant to say.
Nia goes, "Oh, Emannuel, what are you doing, dude?
You have inspiration and guidance.
I don't
and a
need
PC's
it.
accomplice if it's that important to you.
I don't need it.
Mm.
First off, my athletics check is +9.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. And the dice I rolled.
Hey,
was a
19? Ooh, 28 then.
28. Please tell me that the Ferdinand is somewhere nearby. Holy shit.
So, the challenge of the wall is not just the height. It is the fact that it has been fastidiously constructed by dwarven contractors, not from Waterdeep, brought in from the outside, to have no handholds, not even so much as a finger grip going up. You have to take this sucker completely by momentum all the way up to the top, over 20 feet in the air. Antonio could do it. Pollock sure as fuck could not. And neither could you. Until this alcohol-fueled adrenaline rush of power that you seem to have, and in your defiance of this wall, and tired of being in the shadow of your older brother for this long, you do your best to take the wall in one go, and manage to get just your fingertips over the top after a monumental effort, and those fingertips are just enough. You hang by that last knuckle at the top of the wall, and haul yourself up on the strength of one arm over the top. For the first time in your life.
Nia yells, "No, you could fly!"
After Nia yells that, you hear from inside the walls, "Is someone there?"
Oh, you better come take a look at this.
I look at her. Shh.
Nia goes, "Stay right the fuck there! That was cool as shit! Everybody should see it!"
To someone who can fly, maybe not so impressive, but to anyone who is...
Please, it's the first time she saw something that big go up so fast! Don't...
Oh, can I add a flourish to it?
Sure.
So I get up there, I pull myself up one strength, I do a one-handed headstand, and then like kick flip myself standing up, and I'm like...
Nice!
Stuck the landing. And you have to say, even Antonio taking this did not, like, completely mantle the thing. He did about what you did. He managed to get up there. It was designed for this to be, you know, at the zenith of limitations, right? This is not the warped wall for American Ninja Warrior. Like it really takes a yeah. That said, I could not get up the warped wall.
Me either.
I fucking love that show. Thank you, Eric, for the cheers. Appreciate you. Love you. Thank you for being here. You and I really have to talk in the coming weeks after I get back from C2E2. Please. That said, let's go ahead and call it there for the night, guys. You guys have made it back to the Longhorn Estate. You have more adventure ahead. We have 2 weeks of break while Sam and I are at shows, and then we're going to start working on wrapping up this adventure and this story. Reminders and announcements from any of you guys. Nia, I know at least you had one.
I do. Actually, D20 Tales and I are heading to GalaxyCon! So if you guys are anywhere near GalaxyCon this year, we're going to be performing in all 4 shows live with our show Plane Striders, now airing on YouTube. Season 2 coming soon. I love you all. I'm excited. And I'm really hoping to see all of these wonderful people at some point during GalaxyCon, right?
Maybe. We'll see what happens.
And
him anyway. I won't be. Sad day. I'm going
not
to be...
not on the upcoming one, but hopefully in the future 3-1s, who knows? And
I'm
really
hoping.
thank you to Misty Mountain Gaming for such an amazing opportunity. Thank you for believing in us, and we can't wait to see how the story is gonna go.
Sam and Katya will be at GalaxyCon after GalaxyCon. Well, during GalaxyCon, I will be at GaryCon. The emblem down in the bottom right-hand corner. I will be participating in one of their stream games. I will be live on stage. If you happen to be there, please come say hi. I would love to bump into somebody that I know there, even if it's from the internet. There will also be virtual events that you can take part in, even if you can't make it to the physical convention. Please check that out. Go back to the beginning of this VOD to be able to check out all the details on how you can get involved. and check out play.garycon.com, I think was the URL. After which, Sam and I will be at C2E2 over in Chicago, and having a great time there. If you're going to that show, and I genuinely hope you are, because it's one of the better ones that I have gone to over the course of my years with Misty Mountain Gaming, please say hello. You probably can't miss us. We're right up front, and free beer. Go get some. We will be having some. Definitely, Sam and me. And then after C2E2 and GaryCon and GalaxyCon are all over, we will be back here on the channel doing exactly this for you, because this is what we love, and we hope it's what you are interested in as well. Thank you guys so much for watching this. Thank you guys so much for sharing your evening with us. Just in case you don't hear it anywhere else this week, please remember and always be reminded that we love you guys. Y'all are awesome. We will see you tomorrow night for Two Nerds Play. Have a good evening.